Imagine yourself sitting outside in the bleachers, Cracker Jacks in one hand, glove in the other. Then over the PA you hear, "Up to bat, number 44, Hank Aaron." You're at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, watching the Braves and the Giants opening day, 1969. Today I'd like to talk to you about the ballparks of the past, the players that played there, and where these parks are going today. Ballparks of the past have tons of history and excitement. Some of the players that would play there in the past, Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, or the great Bambino, Babe Ruth. In my time, it was more players like Roger Clemens, Darryl Strawberry, or my favorite, Mark McGwire. If it wasn't for these players of the past, some of these players may have never ever played the game. Let's go back a bit and think of some of the teams of the past. Some of the teams of the Giants, or the Reds, the Yankees, or the team I grew up watching, the New York Mets. I would sit in my living room and think about how cool it would be to be at Shea Stadium to watch the Mets play. I never did get a chance to go to Shea Stadium, but it was still amazing just to watch those guys play. In 1969, Gil Hodges took that team from the worst record to the best. They went on to win the National League pennant and went to the World Series to beat the Baltimore Orioles for their first World Series win. We come back to my time, 1986. Davey Johnson took those New York Mets back to the World Series to win the World Series for their second title. And at that time, they would have the best National League record of 108 wins and 54 losses. Go across the bridge to New York City, the New York Yankees. BaseballVault.com says, arguably the most famous of all old baseball stadiums, the house that Ruth built, played host to some of the greatest players and teams in the history of the game. The Yankees played in a number of parks over time, and actually called Shea Stadium their home for a short period of time while renovations were being completed to their home. It's nothing like going to that park and hearing the crack of the bat, the smell of the grass. But some parks don't play on the grass. Some actual teams play on what is called artificial turf. People have said that artificial turf has changed the ways of the game. Has artificial turf really changed the way of the game? According to the LA Times, Hall of Fame slugger Andre Dawson says, "Personally, I just wish it would have been gone a long time ago." Last season, there was two teams that played with AstroTurf. Toronto Blue Jays and my home team, Tampa Bay Rays. I never miss a chance to go see my Rays at the Trop, but going to the Trop is nothing like going to a Comiskey Park. Both Comiskey Park and the Trop has their disadvantages and advantages, but just the sheer love of the game brings us back again and again. The parks of today are more like small cities. To me, it's like having a baseball team playing at your place of business. The parks of today are more of profits for their partners and sponsors. Baseball Almanac says the newer ballparks are being built almost yearly to maximize team profits, while older stadiums are becoming relics of the past. How can teams be able to purchase stadiums year in, year out? They just never seem to understand something like that. Joe Panowski of SI.com reported that the Yankees made $441 million in revenue last year, while the Florida Marlins made a small $144 million. Did making money turn into the way of the game? Did we forget what the game is truly about? Just something to think about. We talked about some of the players of the past, the parks of the past, and where the parks are going today. What I'd like to leave you with is that there still are a number of parks that are still in use today that need to be seen. If you get out there, see some of these parks. Boston still has Fenway Park. Chicago still has Wrigley Field. And Dodger Stadium in LA. Get out there and try to see these parks before they become relics of the past. Thank you.